We'll call to order the regular meeting of the City Council of the City of East Ridge, December 9th, 2021. I'd like to ask Terry Arnold with the United Presbyterian Church of East Ridge if he'll come forward and lead us, provide our invocation and lead us in our pledge. If everyone will stand.
Let's all bow our heads and pray. Father, we come before you tonight so very grateful to you and thankful for the manifold blessings of God upon our city and upon our leaders tonight. We're thankful for our leaders' service to the city and to the citizens of our area. We thank you tonight for the sacrifices they make. We thank you, Lord, for our policemen, our firefighters, and our first responders, Lord. And we know according to your word that as they're serving humanity, they're also serving you, Lord, and we're thankful for their service to our community. We ask your blessings upon this meeting tonight. May it all be for the glory of God, and may it be for the benefit of the citizens of our city. And Lord, in the days to come, may your hand be upon us. Continue to bless our city for the glory of God, we pray. In the wonderful name of Jesus, amen. Amen. Let's do the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Roll call, Ms. Middleton.
Mayor Williams,
Here.
Vice Mayor Chauncey,
Here.
Councilmember Cagle, Councilmember Helton, Councilmember Witt,
Here.
City Manager Dorsey,
Here.
City Attorney Litchford.
Here. Thank you. Yes. So please keep Councilmember Cagle in your thoughts and prayers. He's a little under the weather tonight, and Councilmember Helton is out of town. I would like to adjust the schedule just a bit, the agenda. I'd like to move the oath of honor for our police department up forward. We have several that are actually serving tonight on duty, and we'd like to get them back out on the streets doing what they do best. So if Chief Allen, if you'll come forward with the officers. Good. It is my honor to administer the oath of honor. We appreciate all that you do for our city, for our community. It is greatly appreciated. I couldn't do what you do. It's amazing. We've been blessed with great first responders, great police department. Thank you again for all that you do. If you'll raise your right hand and repeat after me. On my honor, I state your name.
On my honor, I, Arthur Richardson,
Will never betray my badge,
never betray my badge,
my integrity,
my character,
or public trust.
or public trust.
I will always have the courage to hold myself
I will always have the courage to hold myself
and others accountable for their actions.
and others accountable for their actions.
I will always uphold the Constitution
I will always uphold the Constitution
and the community I serve.
and the community I serve.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you very much. I'm deciding to correct. Yes, sir. Let's go first.
Me, I'm oldest. I heard that. My ears are that bad.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Give me another one. You get 3 copies? Yes, thank you.
All right, we'll move then to item B, presentation of the electronic vehicle for the city fleet. Sir, if you'll come forward.
How y'all doing? I want to thank you for this opportunity to speak about electric vehicles and the city fleet. Okay, as you know, there's been a lot of media buzz recently about electric vehicles and EVs. Cars and truck manufacturers are introducing greater variety of models and pledges to offer only EVs in the future. The state and federal agencies are teaming up to provide the charging infrastructure to support the influx, and the reason is that they're economically friendly, environmentally friendly, and economical. The slide up here is City of Columbus, who pledged to place 755 EVs with a public-private, cooperation, and ended up by 2020, and ended up placing nearly 3,500. Thus, they won the Smart City, challenge. But just ask Burkesville Police Department, Police Chief. The small town of Burgersville in southern Indiana introduced the first electric patrol car, and since then they've added 3 more. Here's why. Chief Berkman monitored the cost of savings of the first year, maintenance costs for the Tesla against the Dodge Challenger, and the Tesla saved the department over $6,700. And although the upfront cost of the Tesla was $1,500 more than the Dodge, fuel and maintenance savings recouped in the investment in 19 months. And will save the department $23,500 over the 6-year life of the vehicle. And it's just not Teslas, but also the F-150 Lightning, I'm sure you've heard about, is coming out. They also have electric garbage trucks, street sweepers, and pretty much anything that you could want now. Okay. East Tennessee Clean Energy Fuels Organization did a cost comparison between the Ford Taurus and the Nissan Leaf. And you see that the Leaf upfront cost is higher, but the line shows the equivalency between the gas and electricity. 1 gallon gas equivalent to 33.4 megawatts of electricity. Okay, this chart, it might be difficult to take in, and I emailed most of you a copy of this. And you can, it's interactive. You can plug in different figures and arrive at different, if the gas goes up, how much more you would be saving. But basically, the Nissan Leaf, again, the fuel and maintenance costs, the economy is a win-win, is the first win of the win-wins with EVs. The second win of the EVs is environmental. The transportation sector is the #1 producer of climate-changing carbon emissions in the U.S. So moving away from the gas-powered vehicles is critical. We are fortunate at Tennessee that TVA's energy mix is increasingly becoming carbon-free, so our electricity is cleaner and greener and cheaper than many states. And also, up here it stated 59% was green in the state of Tennessee, but Green Spaces has calculated that Hamilton County is actually closer to 80%. We're also fortunate that Tennessee is one of the leaders of EV evolution. Over 150,000 EVs are produced here since 2013, We're the #1 in the Southeast for EV production by the 3 major manufacturers. 4,000 new jobs since 2017, and another 2,087 coming to Clarksville with the new microcast vast battery plant. And this isn't including the new plant that's coming into Chattanooga and the Ford plant that's coming into West Tennessee. We have great support from the state and federal agency. TDAC and TVA are partnering to network charging stations across the state, and also the state parks are getting chargers, each one of them. Also, some of the Ford electric Ford 150s, and the state has a goal of 200,000 EVs registered by 2028, up from 8,000 registered in 2020, and now 13,000 registered as of June. The final slide shows the fleets that are across the state with EVs. These do not including transit bus, shuttles, or buses. TVA has announced that they're going to switch 1,200 vehicles to the fleet electric by 2030. And other cities have already gotten connections with organizations like Tennessee Clean Fuels and Drive Tennessee, TEN. And they've started purchasing. Austin Peay State University has already started purchasing EVs with their first Leaf used for parking enforcements. There are many happy EV owners giving testimony, myself included. I'm not an EV expert, but I've talked to several, and they are willing to help to continue the discussion with the city. And it's great opportunities for here introducing the city fleet, introducing EVs to the city fleet. And some of the groups that are willing to help out: Drive Electric Tennessee, Tennessee Clean Fuels, Green Spaces, and if you have any questions or any research or anything like that, I would be glad to help. So thank you for your time.
Yes, thank you very much. Council, do you have any questions at this time? Awesome. Thank you very much for your presentation. It's awesome. All right, we'll move to item C, presentation of firefighter support grant, Tennessee American Water Company.
So, council, if you'd like to come down and
You can take a picture of it, mobile deposit.
Mobile deposit that one. Awesome. Thank you very much again. The next item is the Employee Milestone Awards for November. As I mention often, we wouldn't be the city we are without the fine employees that we have and the dedication. And the Milestone Service Awards for the month of November, we have Josh Creel, 20 years of service. Robbie Wade, 15 years. Corey Custer, 15 years. And Patricia Weaver, 15 years. So thank them, all of them, for their service, and we will get their information out to them, their certificate and their pin and their award sometime this coming week. We'll move to item F, presentation for Take Me Home program. Chief Allen?
As Mayor, Council, the police department is rolling out a new program to benefit citizens. It's designed to assist us, law enforcement, in emergencies when we interact with people with disabilities such as autism or dementia, and who may not be able to communicate very well or communicate who they are or where they live. Take Me Home program allows a relative to enroll them in the program. It is absolutely free. It costs nothing. Then when an officer encounters someone that's suffering from dementia or autism and can't communicate, there's a database the officer can go to and look up the person by race, sex. Their pictures will be on there, and identify who that person is and be able to get them back home, take them home. The city of Chattanooga has rolled this out. We're joining with them, but we will have our own Eastridge website. And we're going to send out the media release Monday, and we want to get it on our city's website and encourage people that need this service to enroll.
That is awesome. Awesome program. Council, any comments, questions?
Great program. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next item is the Christmas Parade Awards. Ms. Bowers?
Mary, you want to come step down here, down up front, and pictures made with the
Olive?
Good evening, everyone. We had a successful parade this year. You know, everybody missed it last year because of COVID, but this year they came back strong and we were excited to see them. So in our parade awards, we have two different categories. We have education and then we have everybody else. So I'm going to start with the one that is everybody else. And they get a plaque. Open. Like Christmas, open and we'll start backwards and we'll go our way forward. Okay, so in third place, and hopefully we have someone from there, the Lumberjacks Tree Service. There you go, congratulations. Oh, here's the, wait, pictures. Oh. And there's the top part of that for you. And in second place, Trucking for the Word of God. Do we have anybody here for them? No? I'll make sure that she gets that. And in first place, we have Eastridge City Library. If you didn't get to see their float, it was amazing. Alice in Wonderland. Couldn't be more proud of you guys. I told you you can win. Yeah? Now we go on to the one that everybody likes, the education ones, because they get money. So we had 4 entries this year, and so just so we wouldn't leave anyone out, we actually have a 4th place this year. So in 4th place, we have Cub Scout Pack 3007. And it comes with a $50 cash prize. There you go. And the check's inside there.
There you go.
All right, in third place, we have Eastridge High School JROTC.
I've never been bashful. This is just an occasional opportunity. It doesn't come up very often. If I could get you to retake your seats, I would like to pose the cadets in front of the dais and take a picture of all of you in front of the dais after the check. Now, he's going to take the check after the check, young man. You take the check.
And then,
Check first?
yeah, we'll do this
Check
picture.
first before they change their minds. This is our Cadet Command Sergeant Major. He's the senior advisor to our commander, who is Mahela Azell, who's not feeling well today. So she didn't come to school today, so her loss. Is that good? Can I go ahead and stay with the other cadets? May I stage that photo with you?
We're going to do it at the end of the presentations here, that way.
We've only got 2 more to go.
Great, that'd be great. I just want to have these kids have a once-in-a-lifetime chance. I'm representing the cheerleaders. That's why Mahela Azell didn't show up. Her loyalty was divided. I got you. She's captain of the cheerleader.
All right, and in first place with a cash prize of $300 is Belvoir Christian Academy. You gonna take it? Make sure you give the money back to your mom, though.
Congratulations.
All right, cadets, if you want to go ahead and take that picture as they're getting up there.
Thank you for your time. I know it's so valuable.
I'll take those pictures.
You got it?
Yeah.
You're just gonna array yourself right here in front of the guys. Sir, if you put yourself in the middle there as our principal, I will put the cadets on either side of you. Yes, sir.
Well, they might not see. It's going to have Esther's name on it, but that's okay.
It'd be great. Okay.
Okay, come on.
Good point.
Do you want to stand? Do you want to?
Getting the city seal is just wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Thank you, and thanks for everyone who participated. All right, next on the agenda is a presentation of the fiscal year 2021 audit, HHM.
Yes, sir. This is Weston Porter and Garrett Williams, who were here with us, a couple of others doing our audit. So they get to tell you all about it. And I had to leave them on the last day because I tested positive for COVID. So then I had to worry about had I made the auditor sick, which I didn't want to do. But yeah, so I'm going to turn it over to them.
Okay.
Yes, I'm Garrett Williams with HHM CPAs. First couple of slides, we'll kind of just go over communications that we typically do with council, and then we'll kind of move into the financial piece, and we'll try to be brief and get out of y'all's hair. First of all, the audit opinion was a clean opinion, which is what we want to, what you'd want to expect in a good opinion. Our responsibilities is to conduct the audit with generally accepted auditing standards, with government auditing standards, and to plan and perform the audit just to obtain reasonable assurance that it's free from material misstatements. Since we do not look at every nitty-gritty thing, there is always a possibility that there could be material misstatement, but that is what we're out here to do. The planned scope and timing of the audit, all of this was laid out inside of the engagement letter, and we performed the audit according to the scope. Significant accounting policies, nothing really changed from the prior year. All that is listed in note 1 of the financials that has. Accounting estimates, we evaluate the estimates that management has made. The most significant of these is related to compensated absences, net pension, deferrals, OPEB, depreciable lives, all those good. Management accounting staff, we enjoy working with Diane and her team. They are very good at working with us to get us things on a timely manner, and we don't typically have any troubles with them, so it is nice to work with some friendly people. Consultations with other accountants, we were not aware of any other consultations with other accountants. Corrected and uncorrected misstatements. We didn't propose any significant adjustments to the financials, and there were no uncorrected misstatements after our audit. Deficiencies in internal control and compliance, we didn't note any during our audit. Fraud and illegal acts during our audit, we weren't aware of any fraud, which is good. So this meeting would be a little awkward if I did. So representation letter, the representations requested from management are stated in the city management's representation. Significant matters, we didn't really have any significant issues to discuss. Findings during the year, actual expenditures for solid waste and IDB funds exceeded the budget. Solid waste, it was just barely over. Most of the funds are just not really issues, so it wasn't a big concern for us, but we do have to mention it. So, on to the financial stuff. Everybody likes financials. So, we're going to start with looking at the balance sheet for the governmental funds. We kind of list the major and then the cumulative non-major governmental funds. Total assets for general fund, 13 million, 7 million in liabilities. We had a positive fund balance of $5.7 million, so it's a really healthy fund balance in the general fund. Grant fund, $1 million in assets, $1 million, a little bit more in liabilities, so it was slightly underfunded, but it's not a big concern, especially when you're looking at all the other funds being so overfunded. So capital projects, $1 million fund balance in it at the end of the year. Solid waste, 700,000 assets, 100,000 in liabilities, and 520,000 in fund balance. And then the non-major funds had a positive $3 million balance at the end of the year. So overall, fund balances look really good for the city as of year end. Now we'll look at the revenues and expenditures for the governmental funds. General fund had 17 million in revenues and other financing sources during the year, 16.7 million in expenditures, positive change of 600,000 during the year. Grant fund, 500,000 in revenues, 180,000 in expenses, and a positive change of 378,000. Capital project, again, we had a positive change, $507,000. Solid waste, positive change of $207,000. And then non-major funds, we had revenues of 6.8 million, expenditures of 6 million, and a positive change of $800,000. So Revenues and comparison of expenditures look really good for the year as well. It's not working out. All right, looking at the general fund budgetary highlights. So total revenues, we had a final budget of 16 million. Actual revenues for the year were 17 million, so we had more revenues than expected, which is always a good thing. Expenditures, we have it broken out by some of the major categories of the general fund. General government, we had budgeted 3.7 million. Actual was 3.4 million, so we were well within our budgeted expenses for the general government, which is good. Public safety, final budget numbers of 7.4 million. Actual expenditures were 7.1, so under budget by 297,000. Same with public works, and it was under budget by 128,000, and public welfare by 5,000. Culture and recreation, we had final budget numbers of 1.6 million and actual expenditures of 1.4 million, so 140,000 under budget. So total expenditures were 915,000 under the budgeted expenditures. So overall, we did a really good job at budgeting expenditures for the year, and we're well below. And excess revenues over expenditures, we were 1.9 million in the good. So, and then net change in fund balance, 1.9 million. The last is a general fund analysis of the fund balance compared to expenditures. It's always good to look at what you have available at the end of the year and kind of look to see how long that would last for the future year, especially with COVID and all kinds of craziness going on. It's good to have a nest egg. So we ended June 30, 2021 with 5.7 million in the fund balance for general fund. Total expenditures for the year were 16.7 million. So if we look at this, our fund balance, we would expect it to last about 4 months or 34% of the year's worth of expenditures. So that is a good, healthy fund balance to have. It's recommended to have anywhere from 16 to 33% or 2 to 4 months. So y'all are definitely at the end of that range, which is great, great to have.
And we look at the general, that's typically the fund that you guys really operate out of. That's the main operating fund of the city. And as Garrett mentioned, COVID kind of showed us that those reserves can be pretty important in a time of uncertainty that we've had. We didn't know what revenue was going to be looking like with sales tax being down and other things. But the city of East Ridge has really kind of come through it all, especially now that we're moving out of COVID. It seems things are just booming right now. They look great on a financial standpoint. As I said, recommended range 2 to 4 months. You guys are already at the high end of that and moving up. So we feel really comfortable with the city, the fund balance position for East Ridge. And with all of this was kind of high level. The audit report package that we have, everybody should have a copy of it. Goes into a lot more detail. The statements themselves provide more detail, and back behind that also provide a lot of extra reading. If you ever get a board design or something, you but it's a lot of detail in there. As you're reading through it, if you go through it and have any questions, Diane's got our contact information. We're more than willing to come down and speak with anybody or get on a phone call or through email or whatever we need to do. If anybody does have questions after the meeting or whatever. That's all we have.
Questions?
Any questions, council? Thank you very much. Appreciate you. And thanks to City Manager Dorsey and Ms. Qualls for all that you do, and all of our department heads. managing our budgets and our financial situation. It takes us all, and we appreciate it. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
See you next year.
About 6 months, you mean? All right, we will now move to item 4, the consent agenda. I assume everyone, council, you've had an opportunity to review the minutes of the November 11th council meeting and the July 2021 financial report and the declaration of surplus property from Parks and Rec and the Police Department. I will entertain a motion for the consent agenda.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Have a motion to approve by Vice Mayor Chauncey and a second by Councilmember Whitt. Do we have any discussion? Roll call, Ms. Middleton.
Vice Mayor Chauncey,
Yes.
Councilmember Witt,
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes. All right, we'll move to communication of citizens. This is an opportunity for any business owner, citizen, resident that would like to come forward and address the council with any questions, concerns, or accolades. We have no one signed in. However, anyone in the audience, if they'd like to come forward, now is your time. Hello, sir. If you'll give us your name and your address for the record.
My name's James Elmore. I live at 3610 Coons Road in East Ridge. A few years ago, Mr. Clifford Ackerson worked for the city of East Ridge. He come to me and asked me if he could put a ditch through my yard. I said, sure. And now I've asked the city road people and to come and help me with the issue I'm having. He put this ditch in that you can float a boat in. And I don't have no way to get across it. It took half of my yard. It's been sitting vacant for 30 years. I have to put boards across it to walk over there. And I asked him to help me get some tile and put in there to where I could go across and use my yard, put a garage up. And he said, we can't do that. So I would want to know why the city won't help me do that.
Well, there's two parts. You'd like to start?
Go ahead.
But this is the first I've heard that, I'm sorry. I don't know the history that's behind it. I mean, it's something we have to research, but in general, normally, the city cannot go on private property. There's a lot of drain, and that might have been the reason you got the answer you did. There's a lot of drainage ditches that when developments are completed and things like that, that they put in for drainage for that purpose, and the city's not responsible for those because they're on private property. If we have proof that the city did put that ditch on your property, then there may be a liability we already have that we may have to do something. So I'll turn that over to City Attorney Litchford.
Right, yeah. Let's take a look at this. And well, I mean, if
Got some pictures I could let y'all see if you wanted to look at it and see what I'm losing. And
sure, yeah, if you want to bring those up. When I say what I was referring to is we want to pull some of the. I would think there would have been some recorded
information,
deeds or something. Thank you. And we'll look for some of the recorded
Are
deeds.
those, can we keep those, or do we need to give those back to you, and we can reconvene with you?
have them back in there.
Okay.
Before they did, you could you could walk across it, you could drive your car across it, and now you have, you just can't do nothing with it.
Yeah, we'll need to look in this. First I've heard of it as well.
I talked to Mr. Norman Branham about
Okay.
it years ago, and he,
Okay.
I don't know nothing. I went to school with him.
Okay.
He's the man over the street department now. He was laying the block in the ditch when he said, I was a kid working here doing this. And I said, well, I can't get no help. He said, we'll go to a commission meeting. So
Okay.
appreciate y'all to look into it.
What was your address again?
3610 Coons Road.
Absolutely. We'll get on that. I'll start on that first thing in the morning.
Thank you. Do we have this other contact information?
Yeah, let's.
Can you make sure Ms. Middleton has your,
Here
or just
you are.
write it down or something, so
Right on that.
we can get a hold of you?
Either that, or you can write it on that sheet. Where's the sign-up sheet?
Yeah, there you go, sign up sheet.
Yeah, put it on the sign-up sheet, and that'll give us your email, your phone number. Did you want to see these? And we'll give them back to him. Son, do you want to see them? Here's your picture, sir, if you'd like to. Do you want these now?
I wouldn't mind keeping them.
Yeah,
if it were-
do you mind?
Thank you.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you. I was just going to grab the, this.
Thank you, sir. Is there anyone else? I see no one else, so I'll move to communications from council members. I'll start on this side. Councilmember Witt,
I don't have anything.
Vice Mayor?
I have nothing, Mayor.
All right, I have a couple things. One is, I'm going to ask Chief Allen and Chief Williams, if you'd like to come up as well, to talk maybe a little bit, and put you on the spot, guns and hoses. Because I think we may have someone in the audience.
They can tell you a lot more about it than I
Okay,
I wasn't able to attend.
awesome.
I do know that it's a fundraiser.
Yes,
Not sure what the
Forgotten Child Fund.
Forgotten Child Fund.
yes,
And it's basically firefighters and police officers in a boxing match. We had 2 police officers in it this year.
we did.
One of those officers won his bout. The other one didn't.
My trophy was the black guy that I got right here. It's healed up now.
So Sergeant David Myrick and Officer John Perry.
Yeah.
Oh, ooh.
No. No.
Well, I was there and I attended, and it was amazing, and you've got more courage than I had to get in the ring and duke it out.
Courage, Mayor. Yeah, part of the funds go to the Forgotten Child Fund, part of it to YCAP, and YCAP is the group that put on the event, and they sucker a bunch of fat firemen and fat cops to get in a ring and try to beat on each other for 3 minutes, and that is the longest 3 minutes of your life. The YCAP does some tremendous things with these kids. They mentor them after school, they feed them dinner, they provide family counseling for them, and a lot of these kids that are troubled, they teach them to box. So it was a lot of fun. I'm still recovering a little bit. So, but we appreciate you guys' support. Camp Jordan was a great venue.
Yes, it was.
The guys at YCAP loved it. They have done this downtown for years, and comments about just the ease of access at Camp Jordan was very well done.
I heard the same. I hear they want to come back.
The belt.
Yeah, let's see the belts.
The belt here.
Yeah, it's.
Nice.
It doesn't fit. You got to dig it right.
Yeah. Well, awesome. Well, thank you all for your service again, and thank you for your service supporting and participating in Guns and Hoses. It was an awesome event. I highly recommend it if you haven't been.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Congratulations, guys.
Yes, congratulations. All right, one other note, a sad note is, please keep Sharon and the entire Grant family and friends in your prayers. Brad Grant passed away recently. He loved life, he loves his family and his community. Brad was married to Sharon for 46 years, and he served as a reserve officer for the East Ridge for 28 years. He filled in for our Santa, for our annual East Ridge Needy Child Fund Christmas party. Brad made a huge impact on our city and our community, and he'll be sorely missed. So please keep him, his family, and friends in your thoughts and your prayers. As I normally do, I always want to talk about our great library. I think Sweaver may be gone. December the 11th, 10:30, Saturday with Pancakes with Santa. Remind everyone of that. Then on December the 14th, Tuesday, is also is indoor story time and preschool story time. Both are 10:30 to 11 o'clock. So they always have great events. They're always offering services for our community and our children, and they are great. So if you hadn't been to the library lately, please do. It's amazing. I'm gonna not take this away from City Manager to talk about Pioneer Frontier and the splash pad. So I'll let him talk about that shortly. And that's all that I have. So.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a few things to talk about here. Yes, today, as a matter of fact, we did our pre-final walkthrough on the splash pad and the playground, as a matter of fact. All the components are now there. They're in place. Our next step is to, we're waiting for TDEC to come and also inspect it to make sure it meets all the grant requirements. And then we have to work on all the infrastructure around it, whether it's the dirt to fill in near the sidewalks, whether it's to put in a couple extra sidewalks, whether it's to get the area all ready for the public to be able to use this spring. When we get a little closer to getting a lot of that work done, we'll coordinate with you all to see about when would be a good time to do a grand opening for that project. But we're excited that the functional components are now in place, and we're moving forward with the other pieces of the project. Number two, I wanted to thank Michelle Senegalio and Hannah Spear, Alex Harrison, Cameron McAllister, and Tori Holder. Did I leave anybody out? For the beautiful Christmas tree that's out front. I want her to come up for just a second to tell us, she hates it when I call her up, tell us about the components of the tree and what it means for us, please.
There was a suggestion that we represent all of the employees of the city on the tree this year. So there are 150 plus ornaments, one representing every employee with a symbol of the department they work for, including the members of council. That's it, right?
It is a very beautiful tree.
Thank you.
And I love the creativity on the ornaments.
Very creative.
Very creative.
Thank you, Michelle. The dog park, we're moving forward with the dog park. We actually got the water line under the parking lot yesterday and have that over there. I know our next steps are the fencing and the benches. I don't know if Vice Mayor Chauncey wanted to talk for a quick second about that. We're just moving forward now, so that's good.
Yeah, moving forward. Another hookup on the fencing. It's probably going to be a few more weeks.
Okay.
I think probably could use that time to move some other things around. So
Perfect. It's moving forward. That's
moving
great.
forward.
And we appreciate your help on that. Dog park, got Michelle. Diane, you need to make a little declaration about some debt for the city, please.
If you remember, y'all approved purchasing a new fire truck, and then you approved the financing for the new fire truck. So so the mayor signed the paperwork this week. And so I just wanted to let you know that it is final. And we actually have sent the purchase order in, and it started.
And you're required to mention this to council too by
Yes,
the state
yes.
comptroller. That's why.
So
I asked
you
you
will
to-
see when we do a budget, I'm doing a budget amendment in January, and one of the things will be the loan, the revenue, and the expenditure for the fire truck. So that'll be one of the things. But it's ordered, and hopefully they're starting on it.
Thank you, Diane. And finally, I would like to ask Michael Howell to come up real quick to talk about the brand-new permit system and codes enforcement information system that we have basically started up this week.
Yes, that's correct, Mayor and Council. So we partner with OpenGov. It's a very transparent system. We went live this Monday. There was an initial press release that was ruffled a little feathers. We got that hashed out. I do apologize if anybody getting emails from that. So
It didn't separate out the code part, which it should have.
Right. So basically what happens with this process, all of our building permits, electrical, you name it, trades permits are now online. You can basically apply for these from the comfort of your own home. As far as code enforcement goes, it's very transparent because our department's under a microscope a lot, and you guys know that as well too. So even if you're not logged into the system and you go up to the right hand on your search bar, all 8,489 addresses are into the system, already populated. So if you type in that certain address, just curious, without even having logged into an account, you'll see every record that's been on that property, whether it's a building permit, electrical permit, or a code enforcement violation for that matter. So the system itself is very transparent, and we're hoping the citizens are going to love this system. We love it, so moving forward, I'm hoping that maybe in the future we can get other departments on this as well. like animal control or something like that for their pet license and stuff like that. So, but we're very impressed with it, so.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, sir.
And with that system as well, being user-friendly as well, if somebody does not have a computer or somebody does not have the internet, they are still welcome to come in, obviously, and work with the code staff to get their information entered.
Absolutely, I should have addressed that. Absolutely, come into City Hall. It's not like we're just totally off limits. We're still here to help anybody that needs it. That was one of the things that was in that little bit of a rough area with the press release. So, but no, we're still here to help everybody as needed, so.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
Thank you.
And that's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you, sir. All right, we'll move to old business, item A, which is public hearing for ordinance number 1153.
We're going to read the ordinance, even though this is a public hearing, and then for anyone that wants to come forward, we'll present this, and then we'll go forward with the public hearing. This is ordinance number 1156, public hearing, which would be an ordinance of the City Council, the City of East Ridge, Tennessee, to amend the zoning regulations and the zoning map of the City of East Ridge, Tennessee, so as to surplus an approximate 13.59 acre tract of land located at the 100 block of Interstate 75 on a portion of tax map number 169D-A-001, and authorizing the mayor to enter into an offer to purchase real property in substantially the form attached with WWTA and execute a deed and other necessary closing documents for the conveyance of the property in the amount of $250,000.
Thank you, sir. I will open up this public hearing. If there's anyone that would like to come forward at this time that is in favor or in opposition for ordinance number 1153. I see no one. I will close this public hearing, and we will move into the second reading for ordinance number 1153.
Ordinance number 1153, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of East Ridge, Tennessee, to amend the zoning regulations and the zoning map of the City of East Ridge, Tennessee, so as to surplus an approximate 13.59 acre tract of land located at the 100 block of Interstate 75 on a portion of tax map number 169D-A-001, and authorizing the mayor to enter into an offer to purchase real property in substantially the form attached with WWTA and to execute a deed and other necessary closing documents for the conveyance of the property in the amount of $250,000. Mayor and Council, this, as we discussed at the last meeting, relates to property that's on the north side. It is not Camp Jordan property. It's on the northern, it's actually north of that. The borders I-75. It's an unimproved tract, and this has been in discussions with WWTA. They needed some property for them, some of their operations and wastewater management, and so there's a purchase agreement here for the 13.59 acres. One change that you'll see that was made, we discussed it at the last meeting, but WWTA has agreed that in connection with also paying the $250,000 purchase price, they're going to construct a nature path. There's already a nature path there, but that nature path will be on the 13.59 acres that WWTA will receive in this conveyance. And so they've agreed to construct a nature on their side, on the city side, city portion, and they would do that within 120 days after they complete their project. They hope to do it in tandem because they'll have the equipment out there. And but they want to get started quickly on this. I talked to Mike Patrick today, and the city would be responsible for the permitting, and we'll do that in conjunction with the WWTA. But that's an addition that WWTA was offering to do, was to put that nature trail in. And this would all be part of trying to continue the South Chickamauga Creek nature that we're obviously in Camp Jordan, as we hope to be able to connect all of East Ridge eventually.
Aaron, the city's doing the permitting for the clearing and stuff for the nature trail. WWTA is doing the permitting for theirs, and you're going to try to coordinate them in tandem.
Correct. That's right, yes. And so this is a public hearing because it is part of a surplus, and so for us to be able to sell it to WWTA, we got to surplus it first, which of course is what the process we're doing here.
Thank you, sir. I'll entertain a motion for ordinance number 1153.
I make a motion to approve ordinance number 1153.
Second.
We have a motion to approve by Councilmember Witt and a second by Vice Mayor Chauncey. Do we have any questions? Discussion? I see none. Roll call, Ms. Middleton.
Vice Mayor Chauncey.
Yes.
Councilmember Witt.
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes. Ordinance 1153 passed second and final reading. We'll move to item C, public hearing for ordinance number 1154.
This will be the public hearing, 1154, an ordinance of the City Council for the City of East Ridge, Tennessee, closing and abandoning a portion of the right-of-way located at the 5300 block of Stone Street, a portion of the tax map numbers 169J-A-017 and 169J-A-021, as detailed in the attached map, subject to certain conditions.
Thanks, sir. I'll open this public hearing for ordinance number 1154. If there's anyone that is in favor of or opposed who'd like to come forward for this ordinance, now is the time. I see no one. I will close this public hearing and then move into the ordinance second and final reading of 1154.
Ordinance 1154, an ordinance of the City Council for the City of East Ridge, Tennessee, closing and abandoning a portion of the right-of-way located at the 5300 block of Stone Street, a portion of the tax map numbers 169J-A-1017 and 169J-A-021 as detailed in the attached map, subject to certain conditions. Mayor, Council, this relates to the animal shelter that the city is looking to acquire the property right there along Stone Street, and as part of that acquisition, there is currently an off-premise waste disposal area there that's used for garbage, and so dumpster. And what's going to happen is a portion of Stone Street, which already dead ends into property, we're going to close off a portion of that, and then there'll be an easement for both the animal shelter as well as the property on the north, which is the Emerson Properties of Tennessee, which I think is the Fernando's restaurant. And so there'll be equal access for a disposal area there for both properties. And then, so this will be to abandon that street, and then in connection with the conveyance that will occur, we've already executed the agreement with Emerson Russell Properties. This just goes further to advance what was required for the abandonment of that street.
Thank you, sir. I'll entertain a motion for ordinance number 1154.
Make a motion to approve ordinance 1154.
Second.
Okay, a motion to approve by Vice Mayor Chauncey and a second by Councilmember Witt. Do we have any discussion? I see none. Roll call, Ms. Middleton.
Vice Mayor Chauncey.
Yes.
Councilmember Witt.
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes. Ordinance 1154 passed second and final reading. We'll move to item 9, new business A, resolution 3222.
This is a resolution of the City Council of the City of East Ridge, Tennessee, to approve the appointment by Councilmember Cagle to the East Ridge Industrial Development Board to fulfill the unexpired term of James City. Mayor, Council, as you know, these are appointments that don't actually have to go through council approval, but since for about 5 years now, as part of our efforts to create a good historical organization for the city, we do everything by resolution, even if it's an appointment. And so when this body approves, really what they're doing is memorializing what has already been the appointment by the respective council member. Mr. Cagle called today and said Miss Susan Thomas was who he has appointed, and so to the extent you all approve here, you're just memorializing that appointment, and it allows us from a historical standpoint to have that in our record book so that when someone calls, asks for term limits, Ms. Middleton can easily go to her resources and index, type it in, and we've got a memorialization that that appointment actually was performed, so that there's no question. I think in the past we've had questions of when was somebody appointed. We've eliminated that by having these bodies publicly vote to memorialize that. So that's what you're doing here on Resolution 3222. And that was Susan Thomas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. I will entertain a motion for resolution number 3222 for the appointment of Susan Thomas to the IDB.
Motion to approve.
Second.
A motion approved by Vice Mayor Chauncey and a second by Councilmember Witt. Any discussion? Roll call, Ms. Middleton.
Vice Mayor Chauncey,
Yes.
Councilmember Witt,
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes. We'll move to item B, resolution number 3223.
A resolution of the City Council of the City of East Ridge, Tennessee, approving the appointment by Vice Mayor Chauncey to the East Ridge Library Board.
Vice Mayor?
Yes, my appointment's going to be Jill Morgan for the library board.
Thank you, sir. And just to confirm, you said Jill Morgan?
Jill Morgan.
Thank you. All right, I'll entertain a motion for resolution number 3223 for the appointment of Jill Morgan to the library board.
I make a motion to approve resolution number 3223.
Second.
Have a motion approved by Councilmember Witt and a second by Vice Mayor Chauncey. Do you have any discussion? Roll call, Ms. Middleton.
Vice Mayor Chauncey,
Yes.
Councilmember Witt,
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes. We'll move to item C, resolution number 3224.
A resolution of the City Council of the City of East Ridge, Tennessee, approving the appointment by Councilmember Helton to the East Ridge Library Board.
Yes, Mayor Council. Councilmember Helton has asked me to announce her appointment on her behalf tonight, and she would like to appoint Rachel McCrary to the library board. It's Rachel McCrary.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. All right, I'll entertain a motion for resolution number 3224, appointing Rachel McCrary to the library board.
I make a motion to approve resolution number 3224.
Second.
Have a motion to approve by Councilmember Witt and a second by Vice Mayor Chauncey. Do we have any discussion? Roll call, Ms. Middleton.
Vice Mayor Chauncey,
Yes.
Councilmember Witt,
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes. We'll move to item D, resolution number 3225.
A resolution of the City Council of the City of East Ridge, Tennessee, to cancel the second meeting in the month of December 2021.
Thank you, sir. Yes, there was, I guess, the way that this fell, there was some misunderstanding whether this was already automatically canceled or not with the office being closed, but so we need to take action on this to actually cancel the second meeting in the month of December unless the council would like to have one. I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion to
I'll second it.
motion to approve.
We have a motion by Vice Mayor Chauncey and a second by Councilmember Witt. Any discussion? Roll call, Ms. Middleton.
Vice Mayor Chauncey,
Yes.
Councilmember Witt,
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes. We'll move to item E, resolution number 3226.
This is a resolution of the City Council of the City of East Ridge, Tennessee, to officially retire K-9 Officer Axel and allow his handler, Corporal Stephen Rogers, to take ownership of Axel.
Awesome. Alan?
Mayor, Council, Axel has served the city now for several years. He's getting a little bit long in the tooth. We do have a new dog that should go into service next week, getting his training completed. But Axel's ready to take it easy with Corporal Rogers and go home and be a dog instead of an officer.
Awesome, awesome. I'll entertain a motion for resolution 3226.
Motion to approve resolution 3226.
Second.
A motion to approve by Vice Mayor Chauncey and a second by Councilmember Witt. Do you have any discussion? Roll call, Ms. Middleton.
Vice Mayor Chauncey,
Yes.
Councilmember Witt,
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes.
Also, staff has put together a little retirement gift for him.
Awesome.
Yeah. Axel's already seen his gift.
This will have to be unwrapped for him. And also, there's a challenge coin, and Ms. Qualls knows about this, and she's going to tell you about it.
That to me. No, I think he deserves one. He served the city well.
Absolutely. Thank you for your service, Corporal Rogers, and Axel for his service. We appreciate you very much.
Wanted that gift.
Yes, he did. Awesome. All right, we'll move to item F, resolution number 3227.
A resolution authorizing the city manager or his designee to open a checking account at SunTrust Truist Bank for federal forfeiture funds.
Yes, sir, I need to open another bank account. I need to keep this one separate. It has certain guidelines, and it's for a task force type thing, and so all I know is we're going to be getting money at some point, so.
Thank you. I will entertain a motion for resolution 3227.
I make a motion to approve resolution number 3227.
Second.
We have a motion to approve by Councilmember Witt and a second by Vice Mayor Chauncey. Do we have any discussion? Roll call, Ms. Middleton.
Vice Mayor Chauncey,
Yes.
Councilmember Witt,
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes. That is all of the items on our agenda, so we'll now move to item G, discussion of the tentative agenda for January 13th, 2022 council meeting. Under new business, we have an unnumbered ordinance for the budget amendment, first reading.
Yes, sir, I'll be doing one. Like I said, it'll have the purchase of the fire engine and the loan. It will have quite a few things. We've moved one person from one department. They're now in another department, so I'm going to have to move the salary, things like that. So instead of doing a whole bunch of long, I decided I'd wait 6 months and then do one big one.
Thank you, ma'am. Any discussion, council? That is all that we have on the tentative agenda. Is there any other business we need to conduct? Any other items?
The only one that I emailed was the developer for the Budgetary has at least requested that the matter be on the agenda for the 13th. Whether or not this body wants to take action or not will be decided at that point, but they just asked it be put back, at least the tabling of it, be back on the agenda for the 13th.
Okay. Any discussion, council? Question I have is, have they provided some of the information we asked? Have they, are they in agreement to have a public meeting?
Yes and yes. I sent an email out probably a little before this meeting that there was some information circulated to me earlier today. I circulated to each of you all together with, my understanding is they want to have a public meeting at the community center. I've been giving them the contact of Alex Harrison, and I understand they're going to coordinate with Alex to have that meeting over at the community center sometime before the 13th. And but they also provided in that email to you all some information, the additional information that was sought by the council.
Okay. Thank you. Anything else? All right. I will adjourn this meeting, and I wish everyone a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.